Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com. All right, Mornings of Lone Star. We are live here on irlonestar.com worldwide. Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. This is Dick with Mornings of Lone Star. That means we are also on Facebook Live and YouTube Live on Lone Star Community Radio. And with me, we have a special guest. A new business has opened up. It's called Diamond Sports Academy. It's over there on Longmire Road. That's really close to here from the studio. We have Lance Miles in the studio. Lance, what's going on, man?
What's up, Dick? Good to be here.
That's good. Get a little bit closer to that mic. I want to hear you. I want to hear that voice. There we go. Perfect. Guys, if you are watching on YouTube or whatnot, I did put the links to Diamond Sports Academy. All the information, if you miss it, we're talking about it, you can get it right there. It's their Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of good stuff, especially their website at diamondsportsathlete.com. But let's get to know Lance a little bit better. Clearly, this is a baseball facility, right?
Yeah, we specialize in baseball, softball, hence the name, the little Diamond Sports Academy.
Yeah.
But we do general athlete training.
Yeah.
We think that's the most important thing for athletes is just to be well-rounded, balanced, be able to run fast, jump high. So we do a little bit of that for anybody that's trying to be more fit.
So more fit. Now, when you say that that language, age group, what are we talking? Like, can I come in and do it?
You absolutely could.
Okay.
We don't have as many options for somebody like you, like me.
Like too old. We don't want to hurt. We don't want to hurt you.
Yeah. But more so for your age, somebody that coaches. A lot of people our age like to coach teams.
Yeah.
They're having kids for the first time. Their friends' kids, and so they don't know what to do. They want to volunteer their time.
Oh, wow.
But they
Okay.
need help, so we do some consulting. Do some options, some seminars. You can bring your team in. I work with the coach just as much as I work with the athletes. And we teach you some ways to kind of take your kids through an efficient practice. So we do have options for our age, just not the workouts.
Yeah. No, well, it's interesting to me because that whole world of baseball and softball is the parents are almost as involved as the children are.
Yeah.
Because I remember growing up, and I think right around, I think it was, it had to have been like 1998. Around that time, it's like where select sports were really picking up, or select teams. So you'd have your little league in the area, which is like a general area. Like Spring would have a little league, Sugar Land would have a little league, and it's kind of meant for the community.
Yeah.
But then somewhere down the line, it's like, oh, you're actually good at baseball. Join the select travel team, and then travel teams became huge, and that was a whole nother ball game because. A lot of, especially in Little League, no one really knew until you got this weird guy going, your son's pretty good. Do you want to join this team? So, but you guys kind of just encompass everybody. So, if you have no, experience with baseball, you can come in.
Yes.
If you have high-level experience and you just want to, maintain, you can come in.
Yeah. We're trying to reach everybody. I think you hit it on the head. Baseball, sports in general, we're something for the community for a long time. But as with everything, it's kind of evolved. And I was kind of a part of that first wave of the guy coming to our Little League All-Star team and saying, hey, y'all are pretty good. You guys want to slap on a Banditos jersey and go play some travel ball tournaments? And we did. And, my parents, my friends' parents, it was a fun kind of way for us to come up together. They hung out on weekends. We practiced together, me and my friends. We went and competed together. So it was kind of the way we got raised. It was the way that I built my confidence. It was the way that I had adults hold me accountable. It was the way that I learned how to interact with friends and go chase goals and dreams together with your peers. It was such for me, a positive way to come up.
No, I agree.
It led me down a road of college, professional coaching, learning a lot of things, traveling. So it's obviously people want that for their kids. So travel ball's blown up. And now I think there's a new wave of travel ball and how people are approaching it, how people are approaching sports in general. And we're trying to kind of be at the front of that, kind of teaching the mindset, the demeanor that we should all go about training a young athlete so that he grows up to be healthy and that he can play for a long time, not just be really good when he's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, because it's kind of interesting, too, is because when I was growing up, you could tell which of your friends was talented, But then you also could tell which one of your friends is not as talented, but they're determined. So they do the fundamentals every day, and they're trying to get better. And then so it's like they put in the work, and then we all got the reward when we won at the end.
Yeah,
so
you
that
feel
kind of
for
thing.
that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's also because I feel like every kid is different. So like they grow, especially when it comes to like fundamentals. Because if you're missing that ground ball, well, get that kid to do ground ball training for forever until they get it.
Yeah.
Because then you'll get another kid who can just pick up ground balls like they learned it yesterday, and it's like all of a sudden. But then they might be really bad at batting or something like that.
Absolutely.
So, and you guys do everything. So it's just kind of like you identify. I imagine you guys are very hands-on with each athlete, and it's something like y'all can almost do like individual programs.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have, like I said, we try to reach everybody. So we can do the individualized program. Obviously, that usually is a little bit more, I guess, pricey from that standpoint.
Well, yeah, it's one-on-one.
But we also do, big group classes. We do small group classes, trying to get people whatever they need. But you definitely hit it on the head. We have a tendency right now to kind of lean towards private pitching lessons, private hitting lessons, where, it's just one-on-one. It's going to be very expensive. It ends up being something where the kid can learn a lot, but he might be learning some movements by thinking about them, or somebody like talking to them about those movements. There can be some issues with that because it can look great in practice, but if you can't make it look that way in a game, is it really beneficial for you? So we try to take a different approach where it's like more of a holistic approach where we're not just going to teach you a little bit about mechanics. We're going to make sure you're a better athlete, make sure you're mobile, able to hold certain positions, make sure you understand the mindset behind what you're trying to do, whether it's hitting, throwing, fielding, running. Make sure that you can visualize certain things. Make sure that you eat right, sleep right, hydrate. A lot of hitting and catching a baseball has to do with your central nervous system and making sure that you're calm and relaxed in the moment. You look at those Astros guys, and it's hard to make them flinch. They're pretty confident in their actions. So we're trying to talk to our players about how to get that way.
I don't know. Recently, their fielding has been terrible.
Yeah, they've got some work to do.
It's
for
been
sure.
terrible.
If there's one thing I know about them, though, they bounce back.
Oh
always.
yeah. Well, I want to kind of talk about. So I'm on your website, diamondsportsathlete.com, and so you have like an open gym. So you have a gym. So people,
we do. Yeah, we have 3 rogue squat racks and then a bunch of equipment around. So we're trying to, during the day we do have a homeschool program. So we have a membership where if you're homeschooled or if you're just around during some of the days of the week, you can come in, use our facility for a fee, and kind of just have free range of it. And we're also getting some, dads that want to come in and lift while their kids in there doing some stuff. So we try to offer like a little open gym membership.
Yeah.
And for some of the college athletes that come in.
And
in the summer.
Well, yeah, because that to me, I remember that being a big deal too. When the athlete who's basically high school or college, it's like, oh, now you don't get summers off anymore. Like
it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I think that's the change that we're seeing in sports is it's okay for a kid to go all into it. It's more about the reason as to why you're going all in. Some people might have made you hate it because of the reason they were trying to convince you to go all in.
Well, I think what my issue was I didn't understand what was happening because I did fall and spring, and then when they were like, "Oh, you want to go on a select team," and I was like, "Well, what does that mean? Like, so I have to do fall, spring, and summer?
Yeah.
So 3 different teams?
Yeah.
And if it was the same team, I would have been totally cool with it.
Sure.
But it's 3 different teams every time. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that because every time I change positions every single time.
Sure.
And I don't
Yeah,
want to
it's
change
tough,
position.
man. It's tough, and it depends on the type of coach you had. A lot of coaches have their own agenda and what they're trying to do and teach to each team. And it can get a little hairy. Some guy might be trying to win. Some guy might be trying to, fill holes from his own career, and so he wants to kind of teach kids the things he never got taught. It can get a little dicey, and some kids, they end up falling in love with that coach and they grow their passion. Some kids get rubbed the wrong way and they get pushed out of the sport. So, we need coaches. We need more and more. I think anybody that's willing to try it for whatever your reason is, you're doing a good service in this world. But I was the kid that I chose to make it a job. I chose it because it was my passion.
Yeah.
It was all I wanted to do. So I want to make sure that if there's a kid like that out there, that if he has a bad experience with a coach, or if he's having to jump teams like your experience, that he has a consistent place to show up to that's going to keep kind of caring about him as an individual and helping him grow as an individual. So whatever team he does get on, he's going to be a stud.
So, because you guys have a new facility, and we talked about the gym, and we talked about you said there's individual training, there's also group training, and then y'all have camps. And it sounds like if you are an organization that's listening right now, you could talk to you about bringing kids there. Like if you're in, like the homeschooling thing, I can totally see that, because everyone thinks of homeschooling like it's just you in your home, but no, there's groups of homeschoolers that they travel together and they do all this stuff together, especially for sports. I know that's really hard for them to get into sports because there's not a league.
Yeah,
there's not something that's consistent every week. We're playing every 3 days or whatever.
Yeah, we're blessed in this area. There's actually some great programs around. Like the Northside Falcons have been around for a long time, and they do a great job.
And do they win?
Actually they do. There's like a homeschool league World Series, and I believe I believe they won this year. They made it to the championship last year.
Look at that. Yeah. All right. I mean, is the Little League World Series still going on?
It is. Yeah. I think they're just now starting the big one.
Has USA been determined yet?
I know Texas has a team. I think.
Well, isn't that how it works? Is like the United States does their own tournament, and then it gets zeroed into USA.
Yep, to where there's like a handful of the USA teams that make it, and then there's a winner of that plays the international winner. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a rematch of USA versus Japan.
Like the World Baseball
I
watched Japan
Classic.
play Mexico. I think it was Saturday. I think. And it was so funny seeing, because that was right at the age, because it's like 12, it was like 11 to 13, right?
Yeah, 12,
something like
I
that.
think's the...
Oh, that's the age?
Yeah,
like you have to be 12?
Yeah, but obviously there's
some of those kids do not look
range
12. But it's like, it's so funny to see, they put this picture on, this picture's, like 4'5" or something like that.
Yeah. Versus the kid that's 6 feet tall.
Yeah. You're just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And, okay, I got to ask you this. Why do they crowd the plate so much in Little League?
If it's, in my opinion, I think the umpires have some big zones. So they're trying to reach everything. And, at a younger age, some kids are afraid of hitting guys. So sometimes if the hitter gets close to the plate, it sort of throws that pitcher off a little bit. But, I've seen
everyone does
some
it.
calls go viral on Twitter of some pitches way outside. So they're probably getting smart, trying to make an adjustment instead of complaining.
I was so surprised when we were watching that, because I was like, look at that front foot. It's basically on the plate.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy. Like, how does no one see? Like, are you allowed to do that?
Yeah.
But I guess in Little League it doesn't matter. But one thing we have to really talk about, because I know anyone can really do this, is your batting cages.
Absolutely.
So you have batting cages open to the public, but then you also have group rates. It's kind of interesting the way you've set it up, because batting cages the technology has changed so much. So I want you to tell me a little bit about, it's not just the simple thing where you're putting the ball in and just, well, how fast do you want it? There you go.
Yeah, it's the last 10 years has been a huge wave in baseball, and technology's come in. We're bringing a lot of golf technology into baseball. They're using high-speed cameras and radar systems to be able to calculate ball flight, spin. You could even get like the visual of a stadium. You can switch what stadium.
Oh, so now it's all screen-based?
You can do screen-based. There's virtual now. There's all sorts of stuff.
It's like the golf thing.
It's like golf, yeah. And so you got to ask yourself, like, what side of it you want to be on. Is this the entertainment side, or are we on the player development side? And so you're seeing a lot right now. Thankfully I was able to spend some time with the Texas Rangers. I have some friends that play professionally, so I get to talk to them about, like, hey, how do y'all use this new technology? What are the best in the world using the technology to develop their athletes? And you'd be surprised they're not using it as much as you would think, because if you go around to some of these cages facilities, that they have these $30,000 systems and and you go to guys' houses and people have it in their backyard, and it's great, if you can afford it and you can have the time to go through it a lot. If you're trying to develop athletes, you got to be kind of smart about how you use it.
Because it can teach bad habits.
It can teach bad habits, because you're typically just trying to hit a home run at that point, which can lead to some good things, can lead to some bad things. But really what I think of it as is it's going to slow down your pace. There's like a certain number of reps that we're all trying to hit. Some say it's around 10,000 in order to master a movement. And so you're just kind of slowing that down. Now you can get really good feedback from these systems, and that feedback can teach you and it can speed up that process. But you could set up feedback systems anyway. You can set up a feedback system where you don't have to wait on a little thing to load before it tells you what your feedback is. So you got to kind of be careful with it. What we use technology for, we use a lot of radar systems to get exit velocity throwing velocity,
In your swing speed and all that
swing
kind of
speed.
stuff.
Yeah. And what that does, and obviously video, but what the exit velocity, the throwing velocity does, it gives us a baseline that then we can track to make sure that you're progressing properly. And then it allows us to know like when you're maybe getting a little tired. Because if you're at the beginning of the year at 60 miles an hour, and then we look up, we're halfway through and we're only getting up to 56, then we probably need to take a week off and work on extra recovery to get you back to where you were at, because you shouldn't really be going down that much that quick. And then at the video stuff, we use video. It's a camera delay app. So it's all about feedback. You got to teach the kid this is the move we're trying to master. And then we don't want him to think about the move when he goes through the action. We want him to just rip the action, and then right afterwards be able to have some feedback. And so if you have a video delay system, that's basically it's filming the athlete, but it doesn't show on the screen what he does until 5 seconds later. So the kid can go through the action and then immediately kind of flip that switch in his mind and come look at the screen, check his mechanics, make a little adjustment, get ready to do it again, check his mechanics, make an adjustment, and follow that process in order to try to fix or improve some movement in his mechanics.
I mean, that's what you see the professionals doing when they get struck out or whatever. They immediately go to the dugout and they got like an iPad in their hand.
100%. When you know what to look for, it's very simple.
Yeah.
When you don't know what to look for, you can get thrown all across the map of this video game, this virtual reality, this screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's cool, man. And it sounds like you said, it's open to the public, and reservations are a must, I imagine.
Yeah, we got to know who's in there at all times.
You do have walk-ins, but
we do allow walk-ins, yeah, and we encourage anybody to just come check it out. You know, I'm passionate about this place. A couple of the owners, I mean, they would put together a beautiful place because we want to teach kids like how to be organized and what a professional place looks like. Because I never got a chance to see that until I got to Kansas State my freshman year. So we want people to come check it out. So even if you're not interested in coming to a cage or something, come check it out, because we do plan on growing a lot. We have like a list of things we're trying to just check in order, and we will eventually grow and start doing more community events and more informative seminars, things like Coach's Coffee, where we invite coaches in on Sunday mornings and we just talk about what they're going through with parents, with athletes, with
parents,
with different. Sometimes you got to vent, otherwise it turns negative. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to talk it out so we can help each other handle issues better.
I can imagine.
But yeah,
I can imagine dealing with parents today.
We plan on doing a lot of that. Yeah, they love their kid, 100%. Parents love their kid more than ever now, and they want to be around. They want to help them out. They want to help them achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
But in each whatever their kid's dream is, their role in supporting them is different. If their kid wanted to be a digital currency trader, like your role as the father or mother is to help them learn what those markets are like. In baseball, it's very different. Like, you're not as hands-on. They need to go through their own journey. They need to fail. They need to learn how to create their own feedback system. They need to learn how to listen to another person. So it's just interesting, and I'm very blessed to be able to help like a lot of families navigate that, because we got a lot of kids that are really cool, and they know that they want to be different. They don't want to be lazy. They don't want to get into bad things. We got a good group of kids that want to be great and reach their potential. So we got to help the parents learn how to do that the best.
Well, let's talk about, for the parents out there, let's talk about how you do the pricing. Because I'm on your on diamondsportsathlete.com, and you basically, it looks like you kind of just do everything in packages. So you have like the agility package, you have the batting cage package, you have different times of the day package.
Right.
And so if I'm looking at, for example, the best package you offer is called the DSA Athlete Unlimited Classes at $225. Is that per week or per day, or
that's per month?
Per month?
Yeah.
So that's a monthly. That's not bad at all. And that includes, like, you sign up for the classes, and you're kind of just like, basically the whole facility is available to you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more information in the text online, so you can sort of like understand it a little better.
Yeah, I got it now. I just clicked on it.
And for what we're trying to do, I mean, anybody that's gotten to a high level of just their own potential, like you realize you spend a lot of time in whatever it is. You know, whether it's radio, like you probably spend a lot of time in this office.
Yes.
I mean, you got a Benihana chef costume in here.
Yeah.
You're probably cooking in here. Like we need kids to spend a lot of time in it. And some kids, you know, they associate training as like a negative thing because it's scary. They only have 2 hours in a week with their coach at practice, so their coach is getting the most out of that 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's tiring, and they're coming straight from school or whatever it is. We want to have whatever the package is, because everybody's schedule is different. Everybody's financial setup is different. We want to be able to at least just add a little bit to your weekly schedule and kind of be that fun place where, you know, kids are excited to come in, because our workouts are, you're obviously going to feel a little sweat. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel mentally drained. But we want them to be enjoyable, because if they enjoy it, they're just going to keep showing up. And if you keep showing up, you're going to get better.
Oh, yeah.
And if we can kind of control the environment that you show up to, then we think you're going to learn how to learn. You're going to learn movements. And then, you know, as you get older, you can then make that decision yourself as a person as you grow through puberty, like whether or not you want to go all in on this.
Yeah.
And then if you do, we have memberships for that at that age, to where you can just come in every day and use it on your own. But we're trying to just get a lot of kids off on a good start, and whatever package we can offer to help out a family, we will. Yeah,
it looks like you have a good variety of packages, especially for the cages, and it's very simple. It's all kind of laid out, and
well, that's good to hear, because setting up a website for the first time I felt like I was not making it simple, and and for, you know, we're going to try to change too. We're going to try to change and ebb and flow. It's our first year. We don't know what the public needs or wants, and so I'm trying to keep it to where we can ebb and flow till we hit our stride, probably next spring season. Knowing what the people can do, what they need, how we can help best.
Well, let's tell people where you guys are located. So you're on Longmire. Basically, the way I'm trying to think, like, what's exactly next to you.
You could basically hit a foul ball and hit Pete Junior High from where we're at. So it's right next to that. If you're familiar with Conroe Fitness, we're right there. There's a brand new little cafe called the Wheel Kitchen Cafe in our little development. The Meraki House is like a little yoga studio. That's in our
know those folks.
as well. Yeah,
they climb on the
They do.
On
She's
the
got
stuff.
aerial. She's got.
She's
pole
been in here
dancing.
several times.
Yeah, she is a wonderful human being.
And yeah, I mean, that's cool.
We got a cool little thing going on in our development. You know, the Wheel Kitchen's a great place for breakfast, coffee. Like, you just kind of get your day going.
Yeah.
Get your workout in at the yoga studio. Fly through the air. You can drop your kids off with us. So it's a good little spot.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's 38.3 roughly in Longmire, like right there.
Yeah, right there.
So that's really close, especially in Conroe. Is there anything else we want to cover? I mean, I think we kind of talked about everything, Lance, and you know, it's cool that you guys are open now, completely open, looking for bookings. And I know school's starting, so we got to figure out their kids' schedules. And you guys are pretty much open every day, or
yeah, we're open 9 to 9 during the week. I'm basically there all day. If you want to come check it out, get to know more, just come on in.
I love baseball.
Our numbers on the website. Yeah, I mean, we've had some slow pitch softball teams come in. So guys our age
what are you trying to say?
that are playing slow pitch softball.
I feel like if I swung a bat right now, I'd pull something.
Well, that's why you got to come in and learn how to activate
I wouldn't
properly.
I wouldn't mind doing the pitching, though. I always wanted to know how fast I could throw accurately. I've always wanted to know that.
That is probably one of the most dangerous things we could do at our age right now.
Oh, I know, I love
just
it.
Get out and
but
try
I
to
just
let
think
it rip.
about it. I just think about it. I'm like, because when I watch the Astros, I'm like, man, I want to throw a baseball right now.
Yeah.
So
and what's really cool is because I've had a lot of guys, you know, like our age, like come in, and like the way that we got trained to do these moves is so different. It is so different. So it's cool getting with guys that maybe I played with back in the day, but went down a different journey than I did, right? Because I've tried to like research, talk to people, feel things out in my own body, and so like the way we're learning how to throw now is so different, and the way to swing is so different. It's hilarious.
Yeah, especially when like I remember when I went to the select stuff. It was totally different when it came to the individual coaching, because the coaches would like identify what my strengths were, and they were like, "Okay, we're moving you to second base. Like, you can't be a catcher. Like, you can't throw to second base fast enough as this guy. So like, you're not going to be the catcher anymore."
Yep.
And I was like, "Well, it's because I haven't grown yet."
It was very much based on like your posture, your stature, like your lever length, and they were just like, "Okay, this is what they basically were putting people in boxes." Which, you know, there's some value to that in baseball. I think that's why baseball has like different positions so that there's something for everybody.
That's why the bigger kid is always the catcher. Never fully understood it,
Right.
But it's always when you look at catchers, like I guess they just go, yeah, they're bigger, so they're just gonna sit.
The tall, lanky kid plays corner outfield. The fastest kid plays center.
But what weirds me out about the catcher position though is like that's probably one of the hardest positions.
You're on the right track.
Constantly moving.
You're on the right track, and if you notice, like in the big leagues, the trend you're starting to see a lot more like really athletic people play catcher. It's a growing position in all of sports, and it's unique. It's like a quarterback position.
Yeah.
And actually, Turtle Thomas is a guy that he was my locker buddy when I was with the Texas Rangers. He's like, I would say top 5 baseball brains alive. Like he's getting up there. He's been around the world doing baseball, and he's a catching specialist. He came and did a camp in May at our place, and he's coming in December to do a softball and a baseball catching camp. And it's like it's your one-stop shop for everything you need catcher. But he'll be the first one to tell you, like, change your mindset about what you used to think about this position. You're not the big, slow, dumpy guy anymore. You're the quick twitch, like fast guy. You got to be able to move your hands quickly and bounce out of a tough position quickly and be explosive. So it's cool. It's cool. But I think, if somebody wants to play a position nowadays, that's the great part about, like what we do and what other people out there are doing, is if a kid just loves the catcher position, but he's the tall, skinny kid, the culture isn't to just stick him in the outfield now.
Yeah.
The culture is to say, hey, buddy, what sport do you want to play? What position do you want to play? And let's find a path to help get you there. And so we can try to help kids achieve dreams where in the past they're basically used to say, some coach would say, hey, that's great that you want to play that position, but you can't. You got to play here.
Yeah.
Now you can say, okay, coach, and then go over here to your training facility, to your backyard, to your bedroom, and try to work on skills to help get you to be able to play that position.
That's cool, Lance. That's a Diamond Sports Academy. It's open right now in Conroe. All sorts of stuff going on over there.
We're trying, man. We're trying.
That's cool.
Grow.
Now,
a little bit better every day.
Before we go, we know school started like a week ago or 2 weeks ago or like some time ago. What is there anything special going on for like the first half for fall? Do you guys do anything specific like geared towards school time?
We do. Yeah, we do. I mean, we understand like everybody's got to get settled into their weekly schedule. Like routines are important to us. So we never try to push stuff right whenever school changes. But basically what we're doing right now, we just transitioned to our fall schedule. So we have classes now from 4 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. So every single hour we have multiple classes. Like tonight we have, like at 4 o'clock, we have a core and a plyometric class. We do a hitting progression class and a functional movement class. Those are all going on at 4. And then 5 o'clock we have 3 more classes, 6, 7, and 8. So we're just trying to offer different things for kids that like different things. Members, they can get themselves on a weekly routine of which ones to hit. And I always try to work with parents on like, hey, your kid should probably focus more on this one. He could do this one, then this one on the same night. That's a good pair. And then once the fall gets through, we're trying to ebb and flow what we offer because we are a baseball, softball specific business. We try to follow a calendar that's set up for those players. So you're trying to hit your stride at championship season. That means we're not going to do the same thing year round. We're going to try to change the focus and teach people, hey, this is December and January. We're going to try to get a little bit more powerful. We're going to try to load your ligaments and tendons so you can go into the season, be healthy. Immediately when the season ends, we're going to do some recovery stuff to recover from the long season and then give you a break. And then once fall hits, try to build you, get some mass on you, get you faster, get you stronger. So if somebody wants to make a mechanical change, now's the time to do that. You don't want to make a mechanical change right before the season or in the middle of the season. We're just trying to teach people that because from my experience the last few years in the area, people are just, they want to do, so they want to spend the time, they want to spend the effort and the money. They just are kind of all over the place sometimes. So we're trying to be that place that can teach you like the 365-day calendar, what to focus on. And the memberships will do that, and what we offer will do that.
Well, this is the area to do it in because everyone's playing baseball these days, I feel like.
Yep.
So, folks, that's diamondsportsathlete.com. I put all the links and stuff to visit the facility and things like that. Lance, thanks so much for coming in, man.
Yeah,
I learned a
this is
lot
exciting,
today.
man. This is exciting. I'm looking forward to just telling everybody about what we got, what we're doing.
Well, I look forward to visiting the facility just to see all the cool technology advances with baseball, because it's not just a field and a glove anymore. It's like, no, like we have training now. We have different regiments.
We can go hit jacks on Fenway now.
So, that's
you
really
don't have
weird.
to actually make it to Boston
That's funny.
to do it. You can
That's
do it
funny.
from your bedroom.
Well, guys, we're going to get back to the music here on Mornings of Lone Star. It is 10:35. Enjoy the rest of today. I'm going to be gone, and we have the Cindy Cochran Show later today, and then we also have other shows coming your way like Veterans Air and things like that. So stick around. You've been listening to Mornings with Lone Star.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app.